Good morning. This is Jacqueline Richard Simmons, JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. We want to thank God for being alive another day. Yesterday I did my podcast via live video. I'm back to doing my podcast here. I just wanted to speak on some things, and want y'all to understand that when you're trying to build something, something has been done to me and it taught me a serious lesson. And I'll get into that. And it hurts so bad. Y'all don't understand the pain that I'm going through on a daily basis because of this incident. You can do stuff for people, and you can be with them for years and years and years and see in reality that they really don't have love and loyalty to you, for you. And I'm trying to gather my thoughts on it and try to understand, sometimes you just don't want to call people stupid, that they just dumb, because that's how it looks, like you just a dummy, you would rather say that they meant to do this because ain't no way in the world you could be just that stupid, First I'm going to tell y'all what happened to me and what y'all need to look out for when y'all out here dealing with people, It's very heartbreaking, when you stand by a person 100%, and do everything in your power to help them when they ask you for help, and put money out there and hurt yourself to help them, and then they turn around and act like you never did anything for them and like you're nothing, and I'm more hurt that this person didn't have enough respect for me to say, hey, no, I can't do this to that person, because they were there for me when I was at my bitter end. I'm going to let God take care of it, and I know that God is going to bless me through this. But with that being said, it hurts. It hurts. I'm a human being, and sometimes we go through pain that we don't even understand. You do everything right to be tore down at the end. You have to be judged and mistreated because of the love of your family. This is something I've never experienced in my life. So it's hard to, how can I explain it? It's really hard to, it's just hard to understand. It's really hard to understand, I've never in my life came across bad people of this nature. Never in my life. I've seen some bad people, but never of this character, And it hurts. It hurts really bad, guys. It really hurts. Because I've been here, I do everything I'm supposed to do, the right way. I try to anyway. I try to spend time with my daughter. I try to do right by my mate. I'm trying to build a business, a brand. And they set me back. They set me back really bad, And it hurts. It's making me bitter inside. It's making me want to do every negative possible thing I can to them. But it's not in my character. So I'm going to let God deal with them. However, it still hurts. Okay? You know, when you're trying to focus on something and people are coming with negativity, you know, in your life, you have to remove it ASAP. And if you know that they're about negativity, just stay away from them. Okay? I've worked hard. Y'all don't know how hard I've worked to build this music label. Y'all don't know how hard I worked to build this brand. And I've done it all by myself. No help. Okay? For people to try to tear it down. Do you know what that feels like inside? It hurts. You know, throughout this duration of all this stuff, I never cheated on my significant other, even though he mistreated me. I've never mistreated him other than the things that he's done to me. And soon as I'm at my last step of really getting my brand on the market. And he finds a way to destroy it. I mean, it's not totally destroyed. It's just set back once again. How can a person say that they love you and care about you, but they would destroy everything that you're building? But because they don't believe, because they don't know people of the same character as you, because they don't know rich people that has been successful, they don't believe that you can do it. And that hurts. It hurts. Especially when you've been the one that supplied the whole family with money when they needed it. Okay? And they watched you do this. They watched you pay your mother's rent. They watched you give your father money so he can buy a car even though he lied about it. They watch you take care of 7 people at one time. And not only did they watch you do that, they watched you give them money and buy them a business to survive. So why is it that you don't think that I am possible for you to destroy everything that I've put into this? Why? I don't understand. So, my theory is either you are the most hateful person around me, okay? Or you're just stupid. Which one is it? Because it just doesn't add up. You've been in my life for 17 years. You don't watch me take care of all these people. You don't watch me do all of these things for all of these people. But you don't think that I am capable of making this happen. How is that? And I've given you more than I've given my family. How is that? Either you meant to hurt me, or you just stupid, once again. So people, you got to watch out for these type of people. It don't matter how long you've been with them, how much loyalty and love you have given them. They will try to destroy your best. I own a brand. Not a lot of people get to say that because they can't even get approved to own a brand. My brand is United States owned. And he's trying to destroy it. The people around me are trying to destroy it. It hurts. It hurts. Then they owe you money. And you say, can I have my money, please? They tell you they ain't got it. But they could do everything else. But I didn't tell you I didn't have it when you asked me for money. I did it for you. But you say you care. We expect that people won't do the same things to you that you do for them because people are hateful. They hate to see you build. They hate to see you come up. They want you to need them. I wasn't designed to be needing people. I was designed to build. That's who I am. That's who God designed me to be. So I'm not going to be anything less than what you want me to be. And that's what you have to let people know. No matter what you feel I should be, if God didn't design me to be that way, I'm not going to be that way. You cannot change who I'm going to be because my destiny is great. Because God has designed me to be this way. Every journey that you go down, if it's God's journey, it's for a reason. It's not by coincidence. God didn't take me down a journey of sales for 16 years, and I've been successful at it. For me to fail now. He didn't take me down that journey. He gave me the experience so I could become a pro and do it myself. That's why God took me down that journey. Because he knew that this is the journey that would help me and my family. God knew that. Because he took me down that journey. And that's the thing about God. When God takes you down a journey, you'll know it's God's journey. Because doors are open from all over the place. And you will see things that you've never seen in your life. You'll say, this is a miracle. And all you did was follow the rules of the journey that God took you down. Having faith and believing. But people are so afraid to follow God's journey. And I don't know why, because God's journey is happiness. And when God gives you, he says, give to others. And if you follow through with that, God will bless you with more and more. But people choose not to. They choose not to follow God's path. And then they wonder why they head down the road of destruction. They may not see it right then and there, but it'll happen overnight. And then they sitting back saying, why? Why? People ask me, why do I believe in God so much? Because I've seen things in my life happen that there's no way it could have possibly happened if it wasn't God. And me being loyal to him. And this is why I talk about God so much. And this is why I tell y'all to follow God. Because y'all will seek happiness. We are tired of these bad people coming into your lives, hurting you, destroying you. Setting you back. I work hard every single day. Every day. People don't know. Every single day I work hard. I work hard on the streets. I work hard for my family. I work hard for my businesses. Whatever it takes. To be rewarded, and then the devil tears it down. It hurts. It hurts. I continue to pray. I continue to try to be humble. But the way God does things is when he see his people suffering, he removes and takes things out of their hands so he can destroy those that are hurting his people. When you're in a relationship, and I speak about this because, and I don't care what the relationship is, whether it's your kids, your mate, and you see them trying to do something to help the family, long term, see these people today, they so caught up in that old school living, you get an insurance policy for your kids, and by the time all your bills is paid and everything is done with, they have this little bit of money, they blow it, and then it's over. They back to their regular poor lives. I've been through that several times with my family, where they've left me money and you spend it and it goes away. I said I didn't want to be like my family and just leave my kids an insurance policy. I want to leave them something that will last for their children as well. That's my goal. You see all these big names out here of brands that still stand even after the people die. And I think about that. I think about it every day. Anytime I walk into a store, knowing the person that built this particular store has been dead for 50, 60 years, and their brand still stands because their children or whoever they left it to continued on with that brand. It's a wonderful thing. It's actually amazing that you can leave something behind even when you die. I'm one that sees the big picture. I'm the one that sees the art of it. It's sad that the people around me is not as smart as I am to see the art and beauty of being able to build something from the ground and leave it for your family. I was blessed to see that. And not only see it, understand it. But they're constantly trying to tear me down. They don't want my brand to last. They don't want it to live. And I rebuke all of them in the name of Jesus. Everyone that's trying to tear me down because I see what I can be, I rebuke them in the name of Jesus. We look at people like, look at Trump, for instance. He didn't build what he has. His dad did. And he's keeping it alive. He even became president just to keep that name going. That brand. Even though that brand is their name. All it took was sacrifice. Sacrifice in the family sticking together. Working hard and putting everything possible into it. While helping others. You know, my brand, I created it more so for people like myself that's allergic to everything, that has aches and pains, that can't use certain stuff. There's a lot of people out here like this, like me. You know, it was years that I had to be subject to stuff that my body didn't tolerate. Years. And now, I have things that my body can tolerate and I'm okay. And I'm thankful. So I decided to help the other people like me. If I was going to do something and build something, it was going to be something to help the people. And that's why I built the Diamond Wave brand. And I'm not going to stop. As long as I have breath in my body, I'm not going to stop. No matter how much people try to destroy, God is going to find a way to make it happen. Whether they like it or not. You know, I had to I had to tell a person that they had some choices, that things were out of my control. You see, and that's what God does. He puts you sometimes in situations where things are out of your control to make the other person fold, whether they like it or not. You know, and that's how God works. You know, so sometimes you just got to sit back and just watch. You know, sometimes you just have to sit back and tell yourself, I'm going to let God handle this. And I'm going to just go with the flow. Because when God is done and when he makes the final call, he will destroy if need be. You know, he will take you to your lowest just so you can gain your best. So you can understand. And that's what God does to us. Sometimes he will take us to our lowest so you will understand. But I'm tired of getting caught up in other people's lessons. I'm tired. I've never been so tired of being around bad people that just won't get it. And then I get caught up in their lessons. You do right, and then because they're constantly doing bad, and you're attached to them, you get caught up in their lessons. And that's what keeps happening to me because of these bad people around me. And they don't portray themselves to be bad. They always portray themselves to be good. And then you allow them in your life. They befriend you, in other words, because they see what you have, And they see that the blessings are always being poured in, that you never want for anything, even at your lowest. See, those are God people. When you don't want for anything, even at your lowest, you know that's God's people. Somebody had said to me one day, "You never ask for anything." And I told him, I said, because I don't have to. Because God provides everything that I need one way or another. I'm going to get it. If he didn't want me to have it, I won't have it. But if he wants me to have it, I'm going to have it. And God has never deprived me of anything. Food. If anything, I'll deprive myself before God deprive me. And that's because I'm wrong with God. I saw a post talking about David, and he was saying how God was always with David. And he was saying that the reason why God was always with David is because David was always with God. And that in order to receive the blessings of God, you have to be willing to open up that door. You got to be willing to say, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I accept God in my life. And mean it. You have to mean it. And from that point on, you try your best not to do bad to others, not to do harm to the people around you. It's not easy, people, and I get it. I get that a lot of people's afraid to go the way of God, because that means you got to delete a lot of things out your life. Oh, it took me time. I mean, I started young. I was real young when I received God in my life, and I got into the bad, and then I told myself, this is not what I want. And I told God from that moment I will try every day that I wake up, every day that you wake me up, because you brought me through some things, that I will try my best to treat people kind. I will try my best to do right, to be honest. And all it took was for me to wake up one day and decide that. I was real young when that happened, though. I was very young, you know. Some people wait till they get old to receive God, but when I did that, God threw blessings at me that was unreal. And that's when I knew that God was in the universe, and whatever he was doing, he did it because I let him in. These people today, they don't want to really receive God and let him in. All they want to do is destroy. I don't know how hard it is for me to build this business, It's been so hard. I wanted to give up a few times. I've made a lot of mistakes that I had to correct. I did a lot of things that everything is a learning process. And I'm going to just say that everything is a learning process. Anything in life is a learning process, and just like they say, they have the heavy on social media. Everybody's saying if you fail, it's not because you really failed. It was a lesson learned, But we're used to failing early on in something, not 20 years down, 17, 20 years down the line. That's like unheard of. And this is why I don't understand, what is it that God is doing, or what is it that the devil is doing to destroy? Is it because my faith is so strong and God is attacking the people around me? And they're not strong enough or not capable enough mentally to receive God in their spirit? I'm trying to understand, because it's, only thing I can say is that they're bad people. And when you receive God in your life, you can't be around these bad people. You just can't. Because then you become a falsified God believer. That's just what it is, which they call a hypocrite. I can't be around those that do negativity and then turn around and I'm okay with it, because that's not God's way. And then God puts good people around those negative people so they can get an idea of what they need to be. But when they don't follow through, that's when you have to separate yourself. And if they don't separate yourself, you don't separate yourself from them, God would do it for you. And when you're in a family atmosphere, like I'm going to use my grandson, for instance, he had came back into my life. I had allowed him to come back into my life, even after all the things that he's done, because family is family, But that doesn't mean you have to take their abuse, even when it's family. So I had to separate myself once again. because he's costing me money. Money that I can be investing. All my extra money was for investments. Not for play. Not because I want to spend money on negative. You got these people out here, they're spending money on drinking, they're spending money on drugs, they're spending money on all kind of things. Me, I spend my money on investments. Investments that's going to help my family long term. We all are different. Don't be mad with me because I don't get high and I don't drink and, I don't do the things that y'all do. But I'm happy with my life. That's the thing. I'm happy with my life. But I can't have peace and chaos. It's not for me. It's never been for me. Well, I'm gonna cut this podcast short. I just wanted to just throw some things out there for y'all to think about when y'all run into people. And it's sad that we, have to choose, people of certain characters, and we can't wait for people to change. If you see negativity and red flags, just get away from it. Nobody's perfect. And no two people were brought up totally the same. However, when you do meet these people out here, if you see bad in the beginning of a relationship, within the first 6 months to a year, get away from it. You got to get away from it. Because you will see long-term pain. And that's just my theory of, everybody has their theory of what they go through, especially in success, when their lives is on a road to success, and this is just my theory of what you should watch out for. Getting into relationships, family members turning on you, trying to just pull you down as far to the ground as possible, You must pay attention, okay? Don't allow loneliness or caring for people so strong to destroy you. Because it will. And that's just my theory of it. Love yourself more than you love others. And I had to learn that twice, but I had already did some things where I was loving others and more than I loved myself. And the backlash is still coming, And I had to learn that loving myself, putting God first and loving myself is the number one key. I learned that about, I would say maybe 10 years ago. No. Yeah, about 10 years ago. I had to learn that. But I'm still getting some backlash from that. Me learning that, And I've learned that if you put God first, you're going to know, it's going to show you how to love yourself. We may sacrifice certain things, but loving yourself is something different. A lot of people get it confused. Your It's like, I tell people every day, they say, oh, why you don't own a Benz or BMW or a Cadillac? Because I can't afford to. The reason why I can't afford to is because I love myself. I'm not loving the people. I love myself. And I say that, I'm going to break that down to you guys real quick. And then I'm going to cut this podcast short. If my body inside and out is not right, I may not live to be able to show you guys anything. So that's just my theory, It's not my theory, actually. It's God's theory. He tells you to take care of your temple, your body, And he would give you everything, And it's true, I've been taking care of my body. It gets to the I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to break this down to y'all. It gets to the point, I've been taking care of my body for so long, sometimes I think I failed, because I'll get an ache and pain, and I'll be like, oh my God, I did something wrong, and this is happening now, just like I went through this, I thought I had cancer, because everybody in my family had cancer. Not everybody, but majority of all of them, except for 2. They had cancer, and I still got one that's alive that's fighting cancer right now. And that was my theory. It was in my mind, like, okay, it must be my turn. But everything that God asked me to do, I did. And every time I go to the doctor, they tell me to keep doing what I do. I'll be 51 in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And they tell me I have a body of a 30-year-old. If not better. That's a wonderful feeling. When God has preserved your life, well, I can't say he did. I did it by listening to him. Preserved my life. I've taken 20 years off of my life. 20 years, off my life. Because I didn't want to be a showboat, buying stuff that I really couldn't afford and putting my money into me and investing in me so I can live long. And the longer I live, the longer I'm able to spend with my children, the longer I'm able to see things change in the world.
Here's your reminder. Drink water.
Alexa, thank you.
You're welcome. Here's your reminder. Drink water.
Alexa, dismiss. I'm able to live longer, see more, and watch the change of the world. It's a beautiful thing, people. This is why I tell y'all, whether y'all know it or not, receive God for what it is, because he will teach us. He will teach us. And not, like I said, we're not all perfect. We wasn't meant to be. My allergies. But if you receive God, he's going to teach you how, by reading the book, how to get through this thing and be around people like you. I've seen, within the last year, I've seen people that's supposed to be godly have changed their lives to the devil way. And I mean, sometimes we get caught up and we make mistakes. That's why Jesus Christ is there. But if you don't notice that mistake, it's going to hinder you. It's going to tear you down. So, like I said, we all make mistakes and sometimes we fall. We fall victim. But once you notice it, fix it. Because God's right there. He never left. He just wants you to fix it. I'm just personally thankful, for everything that God has given me. I'm just thankful that I'm able to give what I've learned to you guys, so we can raise better people and bring more people to God. And I pray every day that people receive God in their life, so they can learn what's more important. Like they say, health is wealth. And the reason why health is wealth is because if you're sick and all messed up, you can't do anything. I worked so hard in my life to do things right, by everybody, Of course, I'm a human being. When enough is enough, with the nonsense, and you spaz out or snap, However, you ask God for your forgiveness because you know that He knows that you can't take but so much, because you're a human being. You have emotions, you have feelings. This is why God gave us these things. So we can recognize the different, or we be walking around like zombies. It's like, I hate the fact when people tell me, they say I'm so cold, not me, but they're so cold or whatever, And sometimes you get like that because of everything around you, you don't want to be hurt. So you just go blank, But it's not normal. It's not normal. To have to be this cold individual. It's not normal, because if God wanted it that way, He would have made us all like zombies, cold. That's not what God's intentions was. So that means that you have to be around those that care like you. And that's just what it boils down to, We get into these friendships and relationships, and we build, and we tell ourselves that, okay, well, maybe I was wrong. Well, no, I wasn't wrong, because I'm standing for God. And as long as you stand for God, you're not wrong. If you're doing things godly way and it turns out to be chaos behind it, it's because the people that you were dealing with are bad. Because they don't understand what they've done wrong to make you be the way you are. And then God will take over from there. And then you'll be able to sit back and laugh, because you say to yourself, I try to tell you. you know? But you wasn't listening. You wasn't paying attention. And that's just, how it is, people. I mean, we wouldn't go through so much pain if people wasn't so evil, but we need the pain in order to recognize life, and who not to deal with and who to stay away from, and we need it. Some things hurt more than others. I had a person tell me it took them 2 years to get over pain that they went through. And I just said, wow, because everybody deals with things differently, I'm hoping it don't take me 2 years to get over my pain. I pray about it every single day. But I see God opening up doors that I didn't think he was going to open, that I didn't even know existed. And I'm going to just keep it real with you, So with that being said, sometimes we have to just sit back and wait it out. Y'all always hear me say, I get my popcorn and, just wait it out. Watch the movie. And sometimes that's what you got to do while God is doing his work. Just go on with your life and your day until God says, now it's time. You'll know. You will know. But this is the conclusion of this podcast today, guys. I just wanted to throw these things out at you, and let y'all know how I'm feeling, because I'm not feeling all that great. I'm not eating well. I'm stressed. I'm not depressed. I'm more stressed than anything. I'm in a happy state, somewhat. And I say because I have a lot on my plate, a lot. So it has created some stress, but it's not overwhelming stress. It's not stress that I can't deal with. God had actually removed that overwhelming stress out of my life, so I'm thankful for that. And God will do it, He will figure out a way, any way possible, to make whatever he's trying to create, he will destroy and maneuver and move things. And you be saying to yourself, well, God, this is hurting me. Why are you doing it this way? But because these people are interfering in what he wants done. You hear a lot of the rappers will say, it wasn't my plan, it was God's plan. It's actually true. When messing around with God's plan, he will make things really bad until he gets what he wants. So, it's time for me to take my allergy medicine. So I say that to say, sometimes you just got to sit back and get your popcorn. Do what you got to do. And that's what I do. I just keep the faith and keep, focus on what I need to do instead of the nonsense. Sometimes people say that I don't care. You don't care for real. And it's not that I don't care. My focus is on God because I know what he's capable of. And once I opened up that door, I have to go forwards with that journey. And that's God's journey. So I can't look back. And if you're with me on God's journey, you'll be able to see what I see and do the things that I do. And then that way, we're both going through that door with God. But if you're not on that same page and that same journey, it makes it difficult. So God sometimes makes you cold so you don't have to deal with the negativity. And then sometime God will allow you to deal with the pain so you'll know what not to tolerate in the next chapter. You know, God says, I'm going to show you. Even if you're still around these people, what you are to not tolerate. I'm going to show you. And they'll respect you more. Because right now they don't respect you. Even though you've done so much for them. So I'm going to show you. So you can gain your respect. And sometimes God has to do that for us. Because we'll fall short because people putting you down and mistreating you. So now it's time that God show me where my respect is due. He's creating it. So I can see it. No matter how much you put me down or how much you mistreated me and taken from me, you're going to do your part whether you like it or not. Because God says so. Because he put it into play. People keep thinking because things are done, long time ago, that people forget. Like, I'm going to use my grandson for instance. Like he said to me, I was being bad when I was 17. You're only 19. That was 2 years ago. That was a long time ago. No, it wasn't. It's still in a lifetime. People think that just because things happened a long time ago, which they consider a long time ago, it's still in this lifetime and it still stands. And no matter how much things are blocked, God is going to find a way to open up that door to make you see the reality of things. Okay, that's the way it works. That's just the way it works. No matter how much you scam, mistreat, use, God is going to open up that door and let you see. Where you're not going to win because you tried to scam so long. Now it's time. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. That's why I tell people you got choices. Choices is a big thing. I had a person when I first moved to Charlotte, and I don't know where he is. I forgot his name. I think it was Mark. I had met him. First moved to Charlotte. And I was applying for these jobs, and nobody was calling me. And I woke up one morning. I got an email from one job, an email from another job, got a call from the other job. 3 jobs. They hollering at me. And I was like, this is crazy. So, he was outside. He had asked me for a cigarette, gave me a cigarette. I said to him, you know what, this is crazy. Let me tell you this. I said, I've been looking for a job. I've been here since August. It's now November. I've been looking for a job. Couldn't find a job. And 3 jobs just called me back to back. And he just looked at me. And I was like saying, why is he looking at me like this? And he said, choose wisely. And I was like, wow. The first job, I would have been making $45,000 a year to start. The one that I chose first. They needed me to change my driver's license over. It ran me $180. I didn't have $180. Only had $120. Nobody would give me $60 to change my license over to $180. I mean, the $180, so I can have the $180 to change it over. So I wound up not being able to take that job. So that got rid of one job. The next job, what happened with the next job? No, I didn't even look at the third job. The second job, they was willing to get me started, even with my driver's license being out of state, but I must change it right away. And I wound up getting laid off 7 months later, and it wasn't just me. It was the whole company. Okay. And I never even looked at the third job, because I was working them like, okay, well, this situation happened. Okay, I can't get that one. All right, then this other one, okay, they willing to take me, so I'm going to go ahead with this one. That third job could have been the one that I would have been able to stay on long term. But I didn't look at it, I didn't even look at the third job. I didn't even weigh my options. I just needed to work because I was under pressure. But Mark said to me, choose wisely. He knew. And it's crazy because that was the last time I seen him and talked to him. It was the last time. Never seen him again. And I was saying like, wow, he knew something. And see, God will send messages through other people. And that's the other thing we gotta look out for. When God sends messages from other people to you, you pay attention. And like I try to tell people, your choices define your future. But then it was crazy because I got laid off of work. Right before we got laid off, I got real sick. My allergies was unreal. I got here to Charlotte. I got sick one time. I took medicine. I got better. And I didn't get sick again until 8 months later. And I mean sick. I couldn't drive. I couldn't see. I was having all kind of pains in my face from my allergies. It was crazy. But I was fine the year before. So you see how God works? Even though I was laid off, God wanted me to sit down for a reason because he needed to see some things. Because I was always working, always running, always doing, helping everybody else. But the people, they wasn't there for me. So he wanted to see who was going to be there for me. Before I give you anything more, I want to see who's going to be there for you. So you got to look at the way God does things. You got to really look at it and understand. And see, I'm loyal. I'm a loyal person, so I always remember those that's done for me. And help me. They may not help me financially. Some might, some might not. But they may just help with just being there or doing something for me. And I remember that. Just like I remember the guy saying to me, choose wisely, because you could destroy your life. It wasn't destroyed, that much. But at least it was funny because maybe the second job was the job. Excuse me. It's coughing. I got to take my allergy medicine. I haven't taken it yet. But that second job that I did take and I got laid off might have actually been a good thing because I got sick. If I was on another job and I would have got sick, I would have had to abandon the job. That way, I didn't have to abandon the job. I was able to get laid off with everybody else. So when you look at it, it was actually a good thing. And I was able to get myself together, learn what I need to do to get myself back in order for me to make my run. Meaning running, working, and stuff like that. The rat race. So some things happen the way they supposed to happen. Because I would have literally had to abandon the job. Even the job that I would have been making $45,000 a year, I would have had to abandon that job because I couldn't see, I couldn't drive. So when you look at the factors of things, everything happens for a reason. So I didn't make it to the third job because I wasn't supposed to. So I guess I chose wisely. Shout out to Mark, wherever he is. Yeah. That's what he told me. Choose wisely. And I constantly tell people that all the time. Analyze your situations and choose wisely. Because life will destroy you if you make the wrong choice. It will destroy you. Well, with that being said, guys, y'all know what it is. Watch out for these people, because these people can destroy your life. Y'all have a great day. It's a beautiful day outside right now, Wednesday. It's been beautiful here in Charlotte. The weather has been beautiful. It's been actually hot. Some days I was burning up, but, I was able to appreciate the sun. It's the thing about summer, we're able to get all of the vitamin D we need, And that's the other thing. Let me tell y'all, before I get off this podcast. And y'all know I've been having a lot of pain in my legs lately. A lot of pain where I just couldn't manage. However, I noticed I've been eating a lot of shrimps, right? And y'all know shrimps are high in calcium. And you know that calcium can't absorb in the body without vitamin D. Y'all know I'm in lack vitamin D. However, lately, since I've been eating the shrimps and going out in the sun, I've been painless. So I say that to say, with the two together, it's probably working on my pain. Because I've been in so much pain and I couldn't understand it. I like I said, I thought I had cancer. It was so bad, But the whole factor of it is I was probably just lacking calcium and vitamin D because I don't drink milk. I'm lactose intolerant. I don't like the way all these other milks taste. I don't like and I'm going to just be honest with you. I really don't like the thickness of some milks, like the almond milk and all those different ones. I don't like it. I don't like the aftertaste. So I really don't drink it as much. I try to sometimes, but I don't drink it as much. I've been drinking a lot of Nutriments because it has all the daily vitamins. So that helps me. And it doesn't put phlegm in my chest. So that's the thing I have to watch out for because certain foods and certain drinks, especially milk and chocolate, puts phlegm in my body, and that causes issues, especially with allergies. That's where bronchitis comes in and everything else. You can't breathe. So I have to actually watch everything I eat. But the thing that I'm trying to get to is sometimes we go through pain, we need to just check our vitamin intake, and start taking vitamins like we're supposed to and eating right before we jump to conclusions, because God taught me something. I went through all this worrying about, oh my God, I probably got cancer. I'm going through this. I'm going through that. The pain is like this. Oh my God, I was going through it. Worrying myself to death. And all I had to do was eat right because I was lacking in something. Okay? So I just want to throw that out there. When y'all start feeling a certain kind of way, start with your vitamins first. Don't let it linger on. Because if you let it linger on, it's going to get worse. But if you try to fix it, it can be reversed early. So I just wanted to say that to say, take care of yourselves, people. The more you take care of yourself, the longer your life, you're able to survive. I want to get old. Some people want to die young, but I want to get old. I want to be 90, 100 if I can. But I got to get good people around me because the people that I got around me now, they'll mistreat me. Being old. Because they're mistreating me now, so only God knows what they'll do when I'm old and can barely help myself, So you got to look at those things. You know, you got to be around people that you know is going to be there for you and really help you if you're old and sick or whatever the case may be, you know. So you got to think about those things. You got to prep your life, y'all. And this is what we have to learn to do. You know, get some good friends, you know, and like they say, today you're lucky if you have one good friend, and that's true. But you need to find that one good friend and hold on to them. You know, try to hold on to them. Because you might need them long term, or they might need you. You know, so y'all think about that. This is Jacqueline Richard Simmons, JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. I love you guys. And enjoy y'all day and be safe.